Sắp úp, ta úp. Tấm bọc. Ôi giời. Nhìn người bị sợ đấy. Nhìn. Con gì mà lại quý sân chó. Con gì. Nhà bị chó mà bị.
Underneath that table, and Todak, they're not bummed about it. They know for a fact this was something else.
I think that's a crap, huh?
They have a medical center at their training spot, right? I've been there. The physio is good. Cram will be fine for M6. Where was this SRG yesterday?
I don't know. This is like a whole new side of them. To see them play like this and to really enable Cram and really utilize why he is such a great laner, I think I'm personally all for it.
Look, it's all about the stakes, man. Upper brackets, there's no stakes.
No stakes.
They need to go down to the lower bracket and be like, yeah, we need to go online.
All it took was one comeback win against Red Esports in that game one to really flip a switch.
It did. It's something is turned around in them. The motivation is there. But Churros, what do you think about game number 2?
When I was watching the game, it was many dots of blue and just one big red dot. because SRG was just always together.
They were. I
They
mean,
were
just look at the
every
minimap.
single time they're fighting as 5 men. And one of the biggest things that we underestimated was the Alpha Thamus Matilda combo. That's 2 true damage sustain monsters and a freaking fairy that can just pull you away in team fights.
Fairy.
I don't know what
think that
Matilda
Tinkerbell?
is.
All right. Calm down, Peter Pan, because Todak, I think, with their composition, it was actually really hard once the laners couldn't find their independent stronghold.
Look at the shields. Look at the shields built up from the photo itself. The Matilda just giving everyone the heals, the shields. There's no way that Todak's damage, even though Zayed can find the back line, they can't take the front line because the front line is tanky and they hurt.
Oh man,
It's just way too much.
It's way too much. Give it up for the MVP of the game, going over to Sakai's on his Alpha, enabled by his entire team with the help of Matilda getting in and out of these fights. He does not. Well, honestly, I would say he is a very generous trigger finger.
You know, I know what it is.
What is it?
They're wearing red today.
Yeah, I saw this comment on Facebook when they lost against Todak.
Because they're wearing blue.
Someone was like, SRG without red in their jersey, no life. Wear red.
Hey, from a Chinese, I get you.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with this superstition here, but
You're wearing pink.
Cho.
You're the one closest to red.
Actually, all of y'all.
You're
have
the one
some
guy without
hint of
any.
reds,
Yeah,
I
you're the one
know.
guy without any hint of red.
Yeah, that's true. You call us a Chinese?
Maybe I'm wearing red underwear. Who knows?
That's the guest mentality, right?
Oh,
there.
let's move on. Gideon, take me away, please.
hey, don't worry.
We were so
Don't
close
worry
to
about
him
that.
stripping.
No. We are not letting this man. He is too sexy to start stripping right now, all right? Our focus is on M6 and not churros on the English broadcast because I'm telling you, there are too many people who would turn around when that happens. Speaking of which, coming into this game, I have to ask. We're going to see the emblems in just a little bit.
Yeah.
But do you think it was a mistake for Zyme Senpai to actually take Brave Smite in this game? Like, I get the concept. Like, there's a lot of damage on their side that you want to sustain, but that is a very long cooldown in comparison to taking Impure Rage, for example.
Yeah, honestly though, I think he knows what he's doing. That's why he builds the corrosive scythe as well, Starlium scythe. Now Abstract's got me into it as well, just because of the lifesteal and the hybrid spell vamp that the scythe provides, as well as the Brave Smite, because you need some level of tankiness to come in to tank the frontline damage, especially from Sakai's and now Pram coming in as well. But I do want to talk about like Zayed picking up that joy. Doesn't really work out well because you're just because of the fact that like RSG disrupts the joy. You know when to time your iframe, or not your iframes, but basically your buffers into your ultimates, into your stun skills, into your crowd control as well. So, Joy can't proc all 3 beats, and that doesn't deal enough damage to break down that front, the backline in the early game, and that caused RSG to just snowball their way through. And of course, I think the Olympic jumpers did a heck of a job in the early game. You got
The Olympic jumper?
yeah, Gatot and Phobius. What I saw was just both of them just like, you know, it's like the Bugs Life. Both of them were just like jumping beetles on that back line. But they can't sustain just because like Matilda is right there and they have to tank through Sakai's, but not only Sakai's, you have to tank through Cram.
I do want to okay, that's a good point, but I do want to point out that these side laners didn't get affected too much by the mid lane trio, and I'm not saying that Yanlord is a bad player. I know you netizens already, pitchforks are already out, but this Gato pick was harassed from minute number 1 all the way to the end of the game. Yanlord could hardly make an impact in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, one of the rule of thumb against Gato is what do you do when you face up against him? Don't let him punch you, right? And Matilda and Eve, plenty of magic damage. They're just tapping Gato. Yellow walks up, eats the Voice Crystal, eats the Soul Bloom, and it's just tough for him. And I agree. A lot of times he fights the engage. Now he has to deal with Sakai's. He has to deal with Cram. You got a literal hell demon on top of you. There really isn't anything you could do.
Honestly, I'm expecting that Yanlord will be doing okay against Cram because Cram's damage, you know, it slowly adds up. What I mean,
Yeah.
Sakai's true damage, it definitely put quite a number on Yanlord. If you put Yanlord versus Cram, they kind of go against one another. Yeah, that is a wet noodle fight. But if you put Sakai's into the equation, bye bye Yanlord.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
true damage, a little too much to actually handle here. Rich Guy, and as well as the carry, obviously going over to Innocent with Best Wingman actually going over to Stormy this time. Sandbag clearly Yanlord on this. 7-17. If this is not a statement that SRG is ready to take on Todak, we need to see an answer from Todak.
Yeah, honestly, in the early game, I saw like at the EXP side, Todak actually sent 2 members up to try to control the Thamas. And I think they took a little bit too much time on that top side that ruined the rotations down into like maybe even the mid side or the jungle invades that they could have gotten. And I think that was one of the main reasons for their downfall. And it just caused SRG to just snowball their way through. And honestly though, it's 7-17 just because you can't take down 2 monsters running in front of you and with the help of a small little fairy.
I mean,
Small little fan.
it comes back full circle, right? Between Yums and Yanlord, we're seeing the polar
Yes.
opposite. Yums having a hot game after that win over Red Esports. Yanlord has been struggling, and it's not entirely his fault. He's getting targeted. Chigo guys also having a rough time. You saw the solo kill that led to a secondary gank. So many things happening that isn't in favor of Todak. They gotta have a sit down. Might be their last game.
It really is, because right now SRG are currently sitting at match point. The discussion needs to be valuable from Todak's side. They felt confident walking out of the hotel today, but this may have crushed a little bit of that confidence. We're going to be throwing it off to the off stage here, hosted by Pojin as well as Rose. Who's that? It looks like an SRG fan. Let's throw it over to them right now.
Selamat kembali ke MPL Offstage yang dibawa khas oleh Hotlink. Anda bersama dengan saya, Rose, Poji, and of course a fan daripada Selangor Red Giants. So, memperkenalkan diri awak kepada fans dengan audience yang tengah tengok live sekarang ni.
Okay, hi. Nama saya Ifat. Saya dari Selangor.
Saya dari sana.
Ai, dari sana ke?
Tadi jalan sini.
Oh, okay, sama lah. Dari sana juga, dari
Yeah.
talent bilik. Okay, now Fat, Rose nak tanya, sekarang 2-0. Technically, ini adalah best of 1 dah untuk Selangor Red Giants kan? Betul. Satu lagi mata untuk dapatkan tiket ke Grand Finals dan juga ke M6. Berapa yakin Fat that actually Selangor Red Giants boleh menang 3-0?
Untuk best of 1 ni saya yakin akan jadi 3-0 sebab macam korang tahu SRG kan juara dunia.
Wow, main terus juara dunia.
Bila kita dah cakap pasal juara dunia, Fat, saya nak tanya, menang ke M6, nak SRG jumpa siapa dekat M6?
Okay, so macam kita tahu Indon ada RRQ, Team Liquid, tapi Onyx Philippines lah.
Onyx Philippines, boleh tak terangkan sikit kenapa nak Selangor Red Giants jumpa Onyx Philippines? Sebab diorang tak pernah jumpa lagi dekat international stage.
Betul.
Sebab nak tengok King Kong lawan adik.
Wow.
I think actually ramai orang tengah tunggu match up adik dengan King Kong. I really agree on that.
Tajam melawan tajam macam tu.
Yes. Okay, Fat. Maybe sebelum kita wrap up interview ni lah kan, apa Fat nak cakap kepada Selangor Red Giants? Kata-kata semangat ke anything? Go on.
Okay, so saya tak ada kata-kata untuk SRG sebab kita dah tahu kita akan pergi M6. Okay, so saya ada kata-kata untuk fans Todak. Ni last game. Walaupun korang kena 3-0 tapi supportlah tim korang .
Membina.
And dia yakin boleh
All the
tutup
best.
3-0.
Bagus kata-katanya membina. Tapi sekarang ni Ros, kita tengok kan dekat sini kat kiri dan kanan. Sebab saya nampak kat sini dah semangat, kat sana macam senyap sikit lah kan. Boleh tak kalau kita nak cheer sikit sini, cheer sana? Boleh tak? Kita nak bagi semangat sikit. Okay.
Alright.
SRJ!
Todak!
Tak kuat.
Tak cukup?
Tak kuat.
Tak dengar.
Alright, Todak sekali lagi ya. Todak!
Alright, cuba semua sekali. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Tapi sekarang Fat lah saya nak tanya. Datang daripada jauh ke sini. Takut tak semalam bila tengok kan ditabrak oleh Todak? Cuak tak?
Tak cuak pun sebab saja nak tengok macam mana? Nak tengok Sebab asyik menang je kan.
Bagi harapan lah, bagi
Ah,
harapan.
Sebab asyik menang je kan.
Asyik menang, okey. Bosan menang macam tu.
Bosan menang,
Tapi
sengaja
tak apa.
kalah ke Fat?
Belajar benda baru.
Wow. Alright, so first of all, terima kasih kepada Fat. And guys, mari kita throw it back to the game untuk start game ketiga. Adakah Selangor Red Giants boleh tutup game ni dengan 3-0?
Thank you, Rose and Poji. Our cosplayers are coming back in from the festival, getting ready for game number 3. And not to miss the match, because this is something that you don't want to miss. SRG fans real confident with the 2-0 lead they have over Todak.
A bit of a somber atmosphere on the Todak side, right? Like Gideon said, they started the day. Zayed in the hotel lobby was saying, "Today we go M6." Yanlong was saying it was a dream, felt like a dream that we beat SRG, and right now the tables have truly turned.
Now, looking at the stats here, Turtle Mania. This is compiled over the entire regular season, inclusive of the playoffs. So, at the bottom, Sakai, surprisingly enough, at 39, one of those kills. And don't forget, SRG played the least amount of games. Then comes the Chibi. Last season's, and even last year's Turtle Mania monster with only 43 kills. Then we have Sensui immediately after. But at the top, surprisingly enough, is Uni.
Fans are getting a bit rowdy. I mean, even the guy Fad who got interviewed, right? He had to apologize to the Todak fans for his remarks because they were gonna jump him after that.
I'm telling
I'm
you.
so sorry I said it. It was for the PCUs.
Oh, this is interesting. So Turtle is actually prioritized so much more by Sakai. Look at it where he is.
You mean
at
the Lord?
The Lord is so much more prioritized, and like Uni's right at the bottom.
Exactly.
It's like it doesn't matter.
like,
It's a Turtle.
With the
yeah,
least
it's
games
exactly
of the
the
board, with the least games, and he got the most Lord.
It's so funny, but what is... Oh my,
Oh my
God!
God!
I love
Whoa!
that so much.
Hey!
Someone
Hey,
said
whoa!
that though.
The artists in the fandom.
Oh, have you ate swordfish before? Have you had swordfish?
No, is it legal to eat swordfish?
Yeah, it's type of sushi.
Is it? I don't know. I feel like it's a rare animal that I don't personally see, so I can only imagine that it's close to extinction.
Moving on.
Okay. M6, by the way, happening in Malaysia. Take the redeem code and get some in-game rewards, or scan the QR code to save yourself some time. But I don't know. Coming into M6, I feel like it is going to get very rowdy in the audience. If we've got artists like that, who knows once the rest of the world touch down.
I mean, the crowd has confirmed you can't eat swordfishes. That with red chili sauce. The Malay way. The Malay way.
The sweet chili
Or
one, right?
ketchup
Sweet
manis.
chili. No, ayam masak merah.
With-
Masak merah.
Is ketchup manis a Malaysian thing too?
Yeah,
Indonesian,
it's like
isn't
sweet sauce, right?
Yeah.
Ketchup manis is Indonesian.
Is it? I don't know.
Hashtag dunk claim by Malaysia.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
don't really
let's
care. It's
Is
ours.
laksa Singaporean or Malaysian?
It's ours
don't even start.
It is
Curry
ours now.
laksa.
Chicken rice, just chicken and rice.
You guys
Who
have
claims it first?
Peppery bakute.
We'll give you the island, the rest is ours.
Yeah, we'll let them win the small victories. We got the main landmass anyways. SRG now on blue side up against Todak on the red side. First pick here going to be coming through, and it looks like they're going straight in for Jushin Bands on Todak's side. So Lo Yi, Phovius, and Yves responded by Todak. It's going to be Jushin, the Fanny, and Chip.
The one thing that Husky and LaFell has been asking for the entire day yesterday is to get the Juicin out, and now we get it. Juicin has been out for the longest time ever, except for probably one game, if I remember correctly. But now, with the Suyo being picked up, nothing too out of the ordinary, but it's more on the side, the ball is more on the court of Todak. With Gatukacha currently still available, and they played it in the previous game, it didn't really quite work out too well for them.
I have to agree here, and I think that Yanlord, I mean, he might just get thrown onto Gato one more time, but at least this time round, he doesn't have to worry about a couple of things. Number one, getting harassed out of his mind by this Yves. Number two, maybe the Matilda, it could go. I think it is a fair shout at the same time, but unless we see Todak have a hard read on that draft, oh my god, they're going to go for the hard read with the Valentina.
Yeah, it's a common thing for Todak, right? This draft is actually, if they put the draft recap for game number 1, basically SR3 is drafting the same. They want to prioritize the Suyo or the Juicin, but in game number 1, they opened up the Juicin instead, and then they pick up the they pick up the Juicin. So that's pretty much wide open.
Dude, that's so
the
personal.
text again.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that.
It means that my wife is pregnant, but she came here for Todak.
Hey, it's worth it. It's worth it.
Dude, that's
Come on
crazy.
down, Edu City Sports Complex, man.
Hey, M6 comes by and it's just like a baby shower. It's gonna be a gender
We got
reveal.
gender review, right? Our opening
then you
ceremony
name-
is just we reveal the gender for the 100 babies that's closest to delivery date. Oh my goodness, it's a horrible idea.
Your name, what, your kid, 1-1?
Sure.
1-1.
I'm gonna digress.
'Cause
But,
it's
I'm gonna digress a
November.
quick bit, right?
Never mind.
There was someone that actually went to labor while waiting for a J-Cho concert.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
Yeah, in Malaysia.
Yeah, so what I'm looking out for is like labor waiting for M6.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But coming back into the draft, they've already finished the first phase. After Suyo, we saw the Gato and Valentina, and then the response was Hylos Vixana as Nolan being the final pick in the first phase. Torak jumps straight on it. Thank God they got rid of the Tigreal.
With Tigreal out of the picture, that is definitely something that Todak would be very happy about at the very least. But you know, they have a Valentina. But regardless, they will be able to steal away the Eternal Guard. That's all fine and dandy. But at this point in time, what are they lacking, and what is something that they probably want to go for? They get great pacing from Nolan. Valentina's great in lane and should be able to rival Vexana pretty nicely too.
I think they need a winning matchup for Chiku. That's number one. But SRG probably going to stick with their same similar bans as they did before, right? Always get rid of the Lunox. Irithel is a lot more punishable, and I think that Chiku guys really needs to step up for Todak, not even in just team fighting, but specifically laning.
Yeah. I think right now it's either the Beatrix or the Irithel being picked up by both sides right here, because it works very, very well into the Suyo as well. Or Todak could go something wild like they did yesterday as well. But at this point, I kind of feel like the Matilda does work with SRG, to be honest. Oh, I totally forgot about Nathan. I can't believe that.
No, it's just expectation. I mean, we saw Todak ban it out the last time. I would only assume that they're going to keep on banning it for God knows how long, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've got the Gatot, so even if they have Harith, that's the main target that they're going to go for. This time, they just don't have to worry about the Yi pounding him from the early game.
I think what's still open, they could ban out the Khalid over on the side of Todak, but it's Cho, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I was thinking about that for
Yeah.
the first phase pick for Todak.
It was a
because
big
Yanlord-
turn.
Yeah.
Big turn to Suyo, right? I mean, Yanlord put up a great show, right?
Yeah.
Fair. One thing that's for sure, we need some initiating tools from the side of Todak. Even if you steal away the Eternal Guard or having an AOG, they are all great for counter engage or even follow ups, but they don't have someone that is really pivotal in really starting all these battles. Matilda is currently still available in the picture if they really want to go that way. But what else could we possibly look at?
I think they might go for the marksman first.
Yeah,
For the side of Todak. Like the Beatrix will work out well. I think in the first game, Chiku guys picked up the Beatrix first in this slot with practically the same sort of like standard draft that they have right now. But the only difference is SRG doesn't have the juice in. So
Wow.
instead, they
I
like to prove us wrong.
it's not the. I guess it's not the word. I think we only saw Moscow like once, right? By
Yeah.
Nets today.
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that this Gato can still be flexed, I think that's kind of the intention for that last pick being left open. You also want to look at the state of Yanlord, right? What is he feeling? Because I think it has been quite tough for him as an individual today, right? And being one of the youngest players on the team, what is he gonna feel good at trying to get them back into game 3?
Maybe a Hilda? Gonna pick up a Hilda for the side of Todak works out very well. Super, super aggressive in the early game, especially with the Nolan on hand.
They can go for the Hilda, but I think we need to see what the full composition is first, because as much as I want to lean into the Hilda, at the same time, they could easily just like pick up the Khalid, right? I mean, it hasn't been touched throughout, and we are seeing Claude getting picked up, big chunkers to make sure that Suyo works.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, they're trying to deny
no.
the Hilda going in the hands of Todak. It's either the Hilda or the Khalid. And Gideon, you were talking about this as well. Hilda and Khalid are sort of like the same thing, but like with a different type of ultimate. Hildas are very single target focused, but Khalid actually sets up fights. So it boggles my mind why SRG wants to pick up that Hilda. Maybe you want to just annoy the heck out of Nolan in the early game and try to deny them from being aggressive onto Sakai's when he starts that farm into the mid-side game. And then SRG snowballs from there.
I think at this point, you might as well just play the full dive composition, right? You have Valentina to maybe like at the minimum steal the Glorious Pathway, and then you just full send it into the opposing side.
I think both Matilda as well as Khalid are both pretty good picks, but
You've seen this yesterday too.
Okay.
Okay, for the high loss, Hilda.
I mean, Momo wants to go for lane dominance. He doesn't mind if it's high loss or if it is Hilda. It's most likely going to be Hilda in the EXP because she is able to affect one side of the map rather than having to play in the first 2 minutes where you take more damage in the enemy jungle. With that being said, though, Churros, give me a rundown. What is the rundown of the compositions?
Putting me in a spot because this is really a 50-50 draft. It really reminds me of the Filipino kind of meta that they really use, but I know the aggression coming out from both these teams, and it's the Malaysian.
Ayan naman yung
them to
suara na
play.
gede
So
niya.
expect a lot of fights coming in from Todak. Give a lot of distance for Chiku guys to try to get that backdoor opportunity, and I want to see how he utilizes that Moskov to do that.
Personally, for me, I feel like right now both drafts is screaming win lane, win game, as it's currently match point for the Selangor Red Giants. They might just be able to book a free ticket to M6 here on this game itself. Good luck to both of our teams, and we're hoping that Todak puts up the fight we're waiting for.
This could be terminus for Todak, a dynasty at stake. SRG on blue side, Todak on red. If you're ready to write a somber ending to this tale, better hold your breath. Todak needs to bring it back.
The 5 appearances in the International Series is now at stake for the Swordfishes. This is definitely going to be a hard series for them to solo.
Yeah, let's look at the emblems and talents.
Alam mo, jadi
I
bedan
am
produknya,
seeing, Lethal Ignition coming out from Stormy this time. Looks like he wants to guarantee the burst. Nothing too out of the ordinary. I'm not seeing Master Assassin coming out from Chiku guys this time round. Looks like he's kind of learned his lesson.
It is still a brave smite onto Zyme Senpoi as a Venetina still. It still kind of boggles my mind a little bit onto the main idea behind it, all of that. I mean, if they want to play a full dive and he wants to survive, then it will make sense.
Oh my goodness, there's so much damage.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like if Sakai's just tapped the Soul Sever instead of going for the Immortal Form version of it, they might have been able to force a recall. If not, at least guarantee Yanlord to drop his Revitalize.
I agree, especially when you have Impure Rage. In the proc it on the Blaze Surge, but look at Cram, right? I mean, in terms of trading, I definitely think CC at one point is going to be able to match up with Cram, but still early priority given to the Hilda.
I think that honestly, I think this matchup is a lot harder than people imagine, right? As much as Hilda feels like, oh, she's a little bit mobile here, especially when, you know, running between bushes, Momo genuinely does not want to fight Cram this early on. Cram naturally is able to sustain without having to interact with his opponent. Momo must interact with his opponent to sustain.
Try Dash Vengeance.
Oh,
A feint
what a
from
bait.
Sakai. This ain't good news. No Vengeance, Turtle up.
Oh man. Okay, so we were talking about the Hilda as well.
Whoa.
Yanlord.
Yanlord in the midst of things, Revitalize use, keeping the team of Sakai's or team of SRG alive. They drop down the big bad mini Lord. First blood, SRG. I just told out late to respond. I am surprised they wanted to go for that because now they're gonna lose Momo.
Why?
Great drive-through though from the side of Sakai, I gotta have to say, but Todak kind of gave that free kill from the side of Momo.
Yeah, I mean, they were already late. None of them were hitting the level 4s on time anyway, so why still contest for it, especially when you're up against a Suyo anyways? It feels uncanny from Todak's side, but I hope that they get their mental together right now. They need to start making smarter decisions across the map, and specifically towards Chiku Guy's side of the map. Because again, Momo, it's up to him. He needs to hold on to that lane, but Chiku Guys is the insurance policy.
I guess the early game kind of thing just kind of filled their head, right? They're just looking straight ahead.
Oh man, please don't do it to him.
Oh.
Is this what bullying feels like?
It does. And the worst part about Yanlord, he hit level 4, he wants to use the AOG, but he's consistently getting cancelled by Cram. There is a bit of a channel time, and Cram does have mini stuns.
The Cram is back to offside.
Are you having fun? Are you having fun, Momo? Look, I lost 0 EXP, by the way. 0.
The amount of mobility that the Hilda is able to bring to the game, and sometimes, and not sometimes, but in the previous iterations, we did definitely see that Crimes wasn't exactly that participative in the game.
Zyme Senpoi got a flicker. And look at the ruins of Toda. The castle walls are starting to fall brick by brick. SRG about to pivot top side. That's where Momo is. We talk about him being the pillar, and right now, it seems like this pillar is about to fall again. Split in half. Claim by Sakai. Zayat shows up. Spirit Destruction misses, so no opportunity. He will try, but Stormy survives through it. Zayat now will have to retreat.
Yep, and there's no need to chase. Cram needs to ensure that the damage put on Momo is permanent. They're going to shove that wave up as soon as possible, and more importantly, if he's able, I mean, if anybody wants to kind of free farm the gold plating, they could, but now Innocent has to survive this dive.
Can be taunted up, blazing duet.
Ini
Tries to
dia
clear
aja
away
dewa
the
itu.
Eternal Guard. I mean, what was Todak expecting with that gank? It's a good attempt, I suppose.
Honestly, looking at how Todak has been trying to go on it aggressive against SRG, while SRG is doing the aggressive nicely. Oh, hold on a second. Yanlord.
You get a purple buff at least. Zai got it, but Yanlord again sacrificed. Just not having fun. How do you play the game?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the flag of Todak on the top of this castle is halfway down the mast now.
It's not really not looking good here.
Lumayan
It really
nih
is.
hijau
Innocent not
bisa
having
suruh
to
orang nih.
utilize his Purify at all. Like, Todak has lost every trade in this game thus far. Maybe Momo will be able to get a tier 1 up top side, and I think that's just the generosity of SRG.
I don't think he'll get it because Cram is beelining back top. Under 5 minutes, mid-tier 1 of Todak has been basically destroyed, reduced to rubbles.
This is the type of game where you don't even need a T-Gold in order to implode. Todak, honestly, at every single move that they try to do, the Selangor Red Giants have got a great answer to it. And even when the side of Yanlord, 5 minutes in, 3 deaths, most of it will the cause of the AOG, mostly being a sacrificial lamb.
I mean, I guess if you want to look for one way to break a single player, I guess this is it, right?
Just continue to do so. However, there is going to be a gank on towards the top side. I do notice that Zayat is waiting in the bush, and maybe at the very least Momo is able to bait this out, but SRG on the complete opposite to set up another dive towards Chiku guys' side. Like, this, it's starting to get really brutal, and unless Todak is able to make some hard reads on SRG, it's starting to look worse yet, pretty grim.
There's definitely some possibility for these reads, right? Especially since the middle lane T1 is down. Todak definitely can be for sure that Selangor Red Giants wants to invade.
Oh.
Yellow will get away. They want the purple for
Yeah.
Zayat. Zayat will commit everything. Clean Retribution. Momo will find a retreat. We're essentially witnessing Todak going up against the strongest version of SRG. Oh, Chico guys. But
Wow.
going, Yellow will come to save him. Still gets hit by Quell the Evo. The time will only delay his death. Innocent claims it, but he wants more than just one. Yellow once more. He wants to save the president, but Secret Service goes down as well.
They're going to have to play the rest of the map here. As much as Todak needs to sacrifice members, they need to get presence. Top side tier 1 is going to be the first to fall as Zion Senpai clears out that mid wave. And at this point, the snowball for SRG has already started developing from a 2.6 now to a 3K gold lead.
I don't know about the saving play from the side of Yanlord. At the point in time with Chiku having so little amount of HP and that pincer move from the side of SRG, you gotta have to give Chiku guys that death, right? Yanlord going in is just gonna make that value trade from the top lane T1 going down kind of plateau.
I mean, we kind of set up this grand finals. Two dynasties colliding, right? The current one and one that is on the way to rebuild, the restoration, the resurrection. However one you want to put it, but it might be unfulfilled if this continues. We're looking at a 4K gold lead.
Wow.
The damage down ranking isn't even close.
Oh my
This is a new crap.
Yeah, I'm about to throw up here. The difference in just damage alone. I mean, they can try, but oh, the rundown though, they got Flicker out of Zion.
I think you just keep running at him. Todak out of the element at this point.
They don't have control into the jungle. They don't have control over anything.
Ow.
With all of these waves just crashing right in, SRG would just want to face first onto Todak.
Yeah, good try from you to try to slow Zai down with a glorious pathway. Minor resource committed, but you look at the level difference. Zai is 2 levels behind Sakai.
Yeah, but honestly, they just need to stop Chiku guys from farming any further. Every time he shows on the map, you should see a response from SRG and Cram. He knows he's strong enough right now. It's not like the previous games where he couldn't get much done. Oh.
Well, there's vengeance out. Innocent is just waiting for it.
No.
AOG, so many spells out. It was all a bait, and they still lost Momo. Because Sakai wants the killing blow. Yanlord whittled down, just back in. He is dead. Double kill going over Sakai, and that's the solo kill right there. Cram.
What?
Clean Chiku guys in half. And SRG continues to gus.
Oh my goodness, this is unplayable. This is unplayable.
Oh my
barrier
God.
is gone too.
10 and 0.
Minutes and 40 seconds. Holy defense gone.
Yeah, and Chiku Guy's getting solo killed by Cram as well. This is unplayable for Todak. I think this, I'm gonna call it early. This is pretty much it unless we see a god play coming out from Todak or Selangor Red Giants really mess up this game.
Honestly, the god play here, what could it possibly be? Going head first against SRG sounds kind of tough. The only thing that it would be a saving grace is Chiku Guy somehow manages to slip through the gaps of SRG, have some macro game and just farm out of his mind.
There's no gap now, right? All out of the turrets are down.
Yeah.
You got a Hilda running around, you got a Suyo running around, you got a Lord coming in. Pony defense popped, I believe, on the bottom inhibitor.
Yep.
I don't know where you go if you are Chico guys, honestly.
You just pray. You just pray that you get Trinity, and you pray that a huge combo, like a 5-man Sky Guardian Avatar, plus Zion with Mini Lord dropping down, plus maybe Zion getting some damage on specifically Innocent and Stormy and Sakai's, who all happen to be standing on top of each other. I think that's like literally the only way they can actually get out of this and allow Chiku guys to try and clutch it.
Really, that means just playing into the mistakes of SRG.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, talk about mistakes. We ain't seen one just yet this game.
Can they do this? How can they set up this scenario? I mean, Lord is already pushing down. They're guaranteed to at least get one inhibitor.
100%.
Yeah, they're guaranteed for sure, because right now,
the only defense.
I mean, Todak is not strong enough to deal with the Lord.
They don't even have a very good wave of wave clear.
It's almost a 10k goalie, right? To find the cash, that's gonna be Momo. Looking for a potential final blow. The Lord, pretty healthy. SRG cleaning up the remnants of Todak's corpses. Yanlord gets away, Todak holds on just for a bit, Spear of Destruction lands, but there's no angle to take it. Sam Semper will try, whittle down the members of SRG, but Sakai just quells the evil again, so sever. SRG disengaged, but again, a close to 10k goal advantage with an inhibitor lead.
Oh man, and even SRG making sure that they are taking away the purple buff, but leaving the small camp, so you will never see that being taken by Zayed. He is purple buffless, 3 levels down onto Sakai's. Basically impossible to contest for these objectives. They have to play for fights, and Chiku guys literally just got the golden staff at the 11th minute.
Not to forget the basic fundamentals from the side of SRG. They know exactly what is the condition for Todak to win. They don't have to do anything to be too forceful with their approach into the opponent's core. They just gotta have to take things one at a time.
Now, Innocent, he was able to get a Winter Crown purchase for himself, so they could look to bait out Todak into an unwinnable fight here. Goes in Blazing, tries to go for a Blazing Duet, goes into that Winter Crown as the OG comes, and then lets Selangor Red Giants kind of wash the rest out.
Chiku guys also did manage to pick up his Trinity, by the way. I think about a minute ago with that golden staff. So at least there is that conditions unlocked, as per Gideon mentioned. So now is more onto the side of the Red Giants. They need to make a very forceful push, a very desperate attempt, and try to win it down mid, only to find themselves absolutely, well, shattered by Todak.
Yeah, he's a tough ass, man.
It really is.
How do you do with the second Lord?
More like, look at Nolan at this point. Nolan is not even strong enough to deal with the Lord.
Oh my god!
He is 2 items, 4,000 gold behind on this Suyo. It's 12 minutes into the game. It's basically unplayable. The only hope they have is Chiku guys somehow clutching the upcoming fight on this next Lord push.
Oh my god, Stormy.
That's the block.
Great body block.
Imagine if he steals it.
I mean, it could have been a universe that happens, but not this one. This one is within the graphs of SRG.
Hey, look, there was that one universe where
Itu
Todak
kan
won
modarannya,
against
oi.
Selangor Red Giants.
Yeah, but that one's in the
Wah,
past.
edarannya
It
parah
was in the past. I
pisan.
mean, SRG looking to rewrite that history. No, you right the wrongs.
Look at this, look at this. They're not
Ngeri
even
banget,
bothering to
Cok.
go for like priority lane first to bait out resources. They're syncing up these waves as quickly as possible. They want to close this out, and they want to close
Ada
it
yang
out
mati
fast.
dari
I
Selangor,
mean,
Cok.
Todak have got no answer to this right now, so this is how they're gonna open things out.
Here it comes. Mid push, inhibitor. Not clear out just yet. Good. I mean, Todak does have some defense, right, with Chiku guys. They're gonna drop everything on Stormy. He will flick it away. Momo gets on top of him.
Oh.
The spear helps out Momo. Finds the kill. Trades the slide for it, but it's for the greater good. Todak holds on.
Ooh, that's actually worth it. Trading 1 for 1, especially with a composition who's 9k ahead of you. I mean, the second wave is about to start pushing in. Let's see whether it changes.
And they try again.
Wow.
Winter Crown Blazing Duet is to zone out the members of Todak. They want the turret, but they can't get it, right? The wave once more cleared out. Good attempt on SRG, but Todak and not out just yet.
Okay. Does that mean that they missed out checkmate angle? 2 minutes until the next Lord actually spawns. They got the Wind of Nature out of Chiku, guys, but I don't think Todak is going to walk out of their base anytime soon.
No way, right? The other main thing is they gotta have to get Zayat at level 15. He's just one level away, and of course, if they are able to get the control of their jungle again by giving Zayat their purple buff, then I would say that there might be some possibility where Todak steals a Lord one at a time and hopefully just propels them over to the later stages of the game, whereby Zyme Senpai is also gonna be enabled afterwards.
How long can they actually hold out here? Double Revitalize for Selangor Red Giants. Dom Ice going to get purchased by Cram as well to make sure that Chiku, guys, doesn't find the value that he needs, and even for the Brave Spine for Zyme Senpai, but that's so minimal. I think at this point, Todak, they will get the 42k mark. They should be able to handle SRG, but I think that even SRG understand that it's pretty difficult to high ground defense against a Moskov, especially when you're trying to go for the crystal, and a majority of your heroes are melee.
One of the other things that perhaps I will be looking out for from the side of Todak is once we're looking at a big 5v5 clash on the composition, Todak's CC doesn't really have got the kit to really do anything in the later stages of the game aside from being a meat shield at this point in time. Even if you throw the yo-yo out, if you throw your ultimate out, let's be very honest here. I'm pretty sure that Selangor Red Giants is just using you as more money, or they are just gonna avoid you altogether.
Well, to be fair, we did see how they defended the last time, right? They sent Yan Lord in first initially, and then Momo kind of snuck his way out. Once they found that separation, that's when you saw Momo go for the all-in towards Stormy's side. And I think they have to kind of simulate that situation time and time again. They expect Innocent to jump their backline, and I think that Todak must be prepared for it. So ideally, if Momo can get a lockdown on both Innocent and as well as Stormy with his ult, then we've got a game.
That's a tall order, right? That's an absolute tall order.
If you can defend against this Lord, I think chances will go up. But it also comes down to whether they can keep even a structure alive. If they lose all inhibitors, I think we go back to square one for Todak. But if they keep even one alive, I think hope is there.
Yeah, I mean, based on the pattern, right? The second Lord push did take down half of the HP of the inhibitor turrets. So, understandably, this upcoming Lord will take down the entirety of this inhibitor. The question is if whether they can even end the cage.
Yeah, and now looks like it's max build for Chiku, guys. He's ready to fight. He's got the Winds of Nature as well. Everybody else a little bit on the poor side, but they're catching up pretty quickly. I don't see situational items, and the people who are eating really little is going to be Momo as well as Yan Lord, trying to be cost efficient with their builds.
All 4 of the half builds onto the side of Yan Lord.
It's all about the inhibitors, right? Start it step by step. It might be a heartbreak coming in for Todak. The guys fight the engage. Lord from bot side. One is Todak's move. AOG from Yanlord. Hits on the 2. Momo ties them together. Momo's already dead. They get rid of Zayat. Cram still alive. Innocent goes for the crystal. And Selangor Red Giant have fulfilled their dynasty on the ruins of Todak. The hunt is completed. Immortality yet to be severed. They will earn the slot to defend the title and grace the global stage. Welcome to M6.
Heartbreak. Heartbreak for the Todak fans. They worked so hard to get to this moment. One step away from M6 and they just fall short. The SRG fans rejoice as Selangor Red Giants book the final slot to M6 and right the wrongs of the playoffs. GG, well played to both of our competitors.
We'll never see this storyline ever again.
Never again.
It ends right here. There's no epilogue, only heartbreak.
All right, we're throwing it over to the winners interview. Rose, take it away.
Pasukan kedua yang dapat mewakili Malaysia di M6 that will also be held in Malaysia. Edu City, ini adalah defending champions anda. Ini adalah MSC champions anda. Give it up for Selangor Red Giants. Guys, congratulations, amazing game. I rasa kita boleh start dengan Stormy dulu. Alright, Stormy. Congratulations first of all. Kita tahu lower bracket ni bukan senang. Tapi I'm really curious macam mana korang decide to discuss back home and macam mana korang bangkit macam ni. Dua-dua perlawanan yang clean sweep di lower bracket.
I think credits to Innocent and the coaches because kita orang buat full study on the night when we lost. So full credits to the Becky, Arcadia and Innocent.
Adakah kekalahan tu macam satu wake up call untuk korang to not be too competent sebab kita ada banyak lagi competitiveness in the scene? Okay, maybe Becky can answer that. Was it a wake-up call for you guys, honestly?
Honestly, like what we say, preparation is very important. And then MPL Malaysia is really, really strong. So we were very fortunate to have this lower bracket. And then sayang Todak actually did not make it to M6 because their best friend RQ is there. Actually, it's kind of sayang. So thank you, Todak, also play a very, very, very strong game in the upper bracket. They tell us that we still have a lot of weakness in our meta. That's why last day we really, really spent many, many hours. We did not sleep properly actually. Me and Arcadia was discussing until like late 4 a.m. stuff like that. So yeah.
Alright, kita boleh nampak hasil hard work mereka pada semalam. Tapi Edu City, kita nampak perlawanan macam ni, perlawanan gempa. And of course, orang akan mewakili Malaysia ke M6. Tapi untuk korang, siapa yang MVP? Mari kita tengok MVP perlawanan ini in 3, 2, 1. MVP jatuh kepada Skies. Adik, congratulations. Now kita tahu dekat MSC, Adik adalah Grand Finals MVP. Dan with this title, mesti ada pressure banyak. So, macam mana Adik nak adapt dengan pressure ni to make sure that Selangor Red Giants boleh clinch back-to-back trophy korang esok. And of course, buat yang terbaik untuk Malaysia dekat M6.
Actually, my teammates helped me a lot. Especially it's come to coaching staff, Becky, Arcadia, Jason. Actually, yesterday I was really feel struggle lah, and I feel so bad. And they cheer me up, and yeah, today I'm back.
Alright, kita dah boleh nampak adik yang sebenar. Okay, maybe one bonus question lah kan. Now, kita tahu actually selepas MSC, korang punya schedule memang back to back. Memang packed. Lepas MPL pula, korang ada satu lagi international tournament mana korang akan bawa line up yang beza daripada M6. Now, how ready are you guys for M6 actually with this lineup? Kurang preparation or are you guys just really, really prepared?
Actually, I think we just follow the flow, I think. We just give our best and let's see the result.
Alright, terima kasih. Maybe we can pass the mic to Coach Ark. Coach, your players, everybody is saying it was because of your hard work that you guys managed to clinch the last M6 ticket. Now, Coach, as the head of this team, what is your promise to the Malaysian audience when you guys are representing Malaysia in M6?
First of all, I just want to give props to all of these hardworking guys. They really gave everything all out this season. We really had a lot of challenges, but we were still able to make it to M6 and we're really happy. And the one thing that I can promise you, everyone who's watching, is that we're gonna give our best representing MPL-MY going to the M6. That's something that we will assure of. Yep. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you again for supporting us. Hopefully, we get the back-to-back championship tomorrow.
Sekejap. Skies wants the mic back. Dia cakap dia nak cakap something kepada Toda. Depan sikit adik. Okay, diorang tengah discuss. Sabar. Sabar.
That's me, give this way.
Oh, jangan nak cakap dekat mic. Korang tengah discuss. Okay, ke tengah.
Alright, actually semalam time saya MVP camp tu saya ada buat sign macam ni. Actually, that's me in reverse sweep, and it's not for yesterday, but it's for today lah. Actually.
All right, guys. Edu City, give it up for your second M6 representative, Selangor Red Giants. Hari Sabtu yang penuh dengan kejutan. Kita akan saksikan esok whether Selangor Red Giants boleh dapat golden road mereka ataupun Vamos will emerge on top. But before our long-awaited grand finals, mari kita dengar mic check daripada side Toda dan juga Selangor Red Giants.
Dari terus. Depan dulu. Oh, tengok aku. No bite. Aku aman.
Simi guys. Position.
Tengok yung.
Tengok yung. Tiago.
Tengok yung. On the way.
Simi.
Be.
Be ya.
Sini, stop. Oh, dapat.
No one.
Atas soyo.
Soyo no one. Nice one, Sen.
Aman.
Balik soyo ah.
Nice. I solo lot.
Iprosin. Be.
Kami ya. I tahu. Simi.
Be. Mati. Boleh.
Simi.
Boleh. Tahu. Guys, akay po guys. Wait for me.
Aku.
I can kill me, don't worry.
Mampus kau Ciko.
Push up guys.
Give tak ada flicker guys. Nak? Boleh?
Boleh do aim tu.
Bagus If. Boleh If.
Dapat. Tahu, mati.
Ya, aku tak
Dah.
Nice. Just recovery dok.
Obis guys, no flicker ah. Dia cannot initiate ah. Tengok ko. No, return. Obis.
Just start love us. Joy here I think.
Aja hero. Gatot. Box.
Box ah.
Hero. Tipa.
Hati. Nice.
Balik. Mati.
Lah.
Aman.
Ayo T. Nice one. Go. Aman. We can end.
Ya, boleh. Gigi. Santai. Cici. Mati. Lo.
No, nice one. Nice ball.
Low Moskop. Ultim. Gigi. Garut.
He miss ulti. Atang.
Dive. Gatot. Manis sama. Tengok me dive sama.
Revi. Gigi.
Dive.
Mama. Kita baca doa ramai guys. Ya Allah, tolonglah Cik dapat tombak. Let's go Cik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah.
Dia dah buat Cik.
Okey, Cik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim balik Cik. Allah. Banyak lagi.
Let's go. Aman.
Aku revi kau ni.
Cici ulti, aman. Gatot ulti. Balik. Balik.
Five.
Tahu.
Bye.
Whew, what a way to end the series. Congratulations to SRG, a 3-0 victory and righting the previous wrongs against Todak. But man, it's heart-wrenching to watch. Todak have worked so hard to get to this point.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things to say. Yesterday was like 90% the fans' prediction towards SRG, and Todak turned things around. This time around, this was the SRG that the entire world was expecting to see. SRG never held back, not even for one bit, was all the way. They just dominated the entire game. It was just like maybe one kill onto Stormy on that last front. And I think it was like, yeah, Yoons was taking the entire game personally to him.
I mean, you know you got it in the bag when your opponents are literally praying during the mic check.
They're praying for an SOD steal. Literally praying for an SOD steal. That's how crazy it was.
Yeah.
There's no ending that could properly kind of close out this story for Total, right? Again, we're never gonna see this again. This could be the last time ever. And the fact that they had to end this way, someone had to go. I'm glad SRG has put Malaysia and NPLMY in good hands and has a chance to go for the back-to-back and make history. But man, to make Toda be the sacrifice, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's really unfortunate that one's story has ended, but at least for Selangor Red Giants, this is a chapter that they're gonna have to write for themselves. is either a two-peat or back-to-back champions for Selangor
First
Red
time ever.
Giants. And then shortly afterwards, they are heading over to M6, where they broke the curse, where the mainstays of the international teams were no longer there. They are the one that still made it.
I mean, it's going to be a long journey for here on up, right? The ladder continues to grow for them. But give it up for our MVP, Sakai's in this match. 2 games of Alpha, 1 game of Suyo. And in all 3 of these games, he has, again, some of the craziest KDAs we imagine, especially with so many fights happening across the board against Todak. 17, 5, and 29 with an 87% kill participation.
Like, there's a lot of things that we learned from Sakai. Is the way that he rotates around, and we always talk about like the mid trio. He was always there, and the Selangor Red Giants have a giant death ball. Pretty much the entire 3-game series today was just 4 members before the 5-minute mark. 4 members just rotating together, and they're layering it in. They're underneath the turret. No one's getting hit. No one's HP was dwindling, and that's how crazy SRG was as a team as a whole. And I think it's not only Sakai's, but the entire team just really like putting Sakai's on that pedestal as well. Like just encouraging him to, you know, do his best, and I'm at a loss for words.
It's really bittersweet. It truly is.
You know what? Zorn sort of predicted this, which is pretty crazy, because he said in an interview yesterday, he said that today we're gonna beat Todak 3-2, but it's not a reverse sweep manner, right? They're gonna take a game, we're gonna take a game, we're gonna win, because if we go down to lower bracket, there's a chance SRG beats us. They dodged a massive bullet.
Huge bullet, in a matter of fact. But I don't think it's going to be easy even when SRG has to face off against Vamos, right? We're going to be praying that it's going to be a close series, because last time it was an absolute wash.
It was. Okay, now, okay. So SRG, they are definitely gonna be making quite a series, especially since they've got the momentum in the earlier parts of today. They got the momentum here against Todak, especially since Todak went with a very convincing 3-1 victory against SRG. SRG, they are definitely not going to be stopping at anything. They are a bullet train running right into the face of Vamos.
Yeah. I think a lot of the, again, I tweeted this out the last time. Sorry, I X'd it out. I gotta make sure that I gotta stay on top of my social media platforms. But the fact that SRG initially lost to Todak 3-1 goes to show that not only are we just dominated by 2 teams, but the rest of us in the region are actually building up, right? We're getting strong enough to maybe contest some of the best teams in the world, and today it just goes to show that SRG, it's all about preparation, less about execution.
And props to them, man. Coach Vecchi, Coach Arcadia, it took less than a day, probably like 4 hours in the night. They slept at 4 a.m.
Didn't really much sleep.
But it's crazy how fast they adapted, especially the players themselves. Like, they had to play an extra series, and I think basically Vamos is just resting at home or in the hotel. SRG is just, they're just watching them. And SRG, they're getting their hands dirty, they're playing the games, and they have to play an extra game onto them. So it's honestly a marathon for them. Tomorrow, a BO7 in the grand finals. It's the adaptability that really makes me really happy that SRG is representing Malaysia. It's just really showing that they have what it takes to really shine on top of that the world stage and be the first team ever in but Mobile Legends history to ever get the Golden Gold.
Yeah, I mean the closest one was Onyx, right? It was Onyx. That was M4, M5. That one didn't happen. That one was a heartbreak as well, right? Reverse sweep was almost inbound and had to come down to that one moment in the game. It's crazy because SRG won the trophy in the 3rd season through the upper bracket. They might have a chance to do it through the lower bracket this season, covering all bases for a back-to-back for the same roster for M6.
Insanity. It's crazy to think about. It really is crazy, because this is the first time we might see an opportunity for a back-to-back champion, and that has not been accomplished before, and the closest team to have done that was Todak.
Honestly, when the Todak versus SRG first happened, it really felt as though that we are starting to see signs of weakness from the side of the SRG, right? They are definitely manageable, But after looking at today's performance, I think that it is there is definitely a certain part of the Luluness if you were to think that, yeah, they're manageable.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When I look at Todak and I see these names, these new youngins that Todak has, invested in, Zayed as well as Yanlord, I hope to see them next season. They're going to miss out M6 this time around on home soil, but I'm expecting season 15 to be their moment to shine because they are so close to looking like an international team.
Each heartbreak hurts more than the last, right?
It
And
really
you could
does.
see it, like Chico guys, Momo. Here's those two the hardest. Zyme Senpai has came close to international events for quite a few seasons, but always fell short, and this one felt the closest, and they still couldn't do it.
I mean, Todak is a team where they have a football team, right? They have a lot of people. So one thing that I would want to see from MPL MY season 15 is that Todak keeps this roster and they train up this roster to the point that they will come to a point whereby they are literally going to be hard contention against SRG. All they need is time.
I gotta agree with you. They got so much potential. Zayed played a heck of a game in yesterday's game. Zyme Senpai, all 3 games in Valentina, just because yesterday it was one of his comfort heroes, and I think it's his signature pick as of now, doing so well. And unfortunately, though, they just couldn't break the curse of SRG.
Yeah, they couldn't. Honestly, I don't know, man, because if we are keeping this roster, that means some of Todak's namestays are going to get axed off. Moon, for an example, is part of the other squad as well. Dia, I mean, there's so many people in the other squads that I would like to see. Even Gary used to be nominated and honestly got really far with Team Hawk the last time you saw them on the international stage.
You know the old saying of to move forward, you have to use kind of the corpses of the old generation as a stepping stone, and this is one of those prime examples. I think for Todak, the fact that they defied the odds, most people looked at Monster Vicious to be that team to make it to be in top 3. They've gone through the doubts, they've shattered all of everyone's expectations. The only thing that they fall short of was to an MSC champion. And I think that's something that they can be proud of, at the very least.
This is quite the showing here from SRG. It's great to see them back in that form. The question is, when are we going to see that plateau? We saw it before, not enough motivation. We see the inconsistency with this team. The only thing that I hope for is when they go into that international that they're going to be just as fired up.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tougher for them, especially since
everybody's looking at it.
M6, it's going to be a meta change. There's going to be new updates coming in as well. The end of the season, new heroes coming in. I think Lucas is a little bit teased as well. So they have to adapt faster.
Yeah,
SRG is a very good team. They've shown that they can adapt, but they need to do it much faster, especially in the professional scene, especially in the international stage.
I agree.
Fair.
I do hope that it doesn't change too much, though, because again, it might just be another scenario where the homeboys are just going to get shafted again, or in this case, Famos, where they're like, yeah, we absolutely dominated. One patch later, what are we doing, boys?
We just can't do the same. We just can't play the same way anymore, right?
Exactly.
So it's all about a game of adaptability, right? It's not about upgrade in the patch.
Even for SRG, right, it took them like what, a month-ish to adapt to the current state of the game. And when Suyo and Jusin became a thing, oh man, SRG, they could not catch up.
Yeah. So I was saying they were talking about it in the interview. Stormy was saying like, we just didn't adapt much fast enough to the meta. We wanted to put Hilda and forced it a little bit too much. And right now, they found a way to make it work. And it's not like they're shying away from trying new things. They are trying new things, and they're making it work, just changing up their playstyle. Notice how yesterday everyone was just playing at their side, and Sakai was just doing his own thing. Right now, they're just playing as one absolute big fat unit. And that is what makes me really, really happy to see this team. They are really living up to their name. They are the Red Giant Death Balls.
Yeah, and they're scary because it always feels like, at least it feels like it comes at no loss, right? No consequences, no trade on the opposite side.
Now, okay, I want to put a question to the both of you, all right?
Hold on, I want to look at this.
Oh.
Wait.
Hey, what are you talking about?
I just saw this. So we're talking about M6. I put like, this is like without the Malaysian teams right here. So if I had the Malaysian teams, it would still be number 2. But BTK is just the team that made me fall in love. It was like a
David versus Goliath kind of situation
down during M3. Where
hold on, say that again. BTK what? BTK what?
BTK was
BTK what? Say that again.
Was it David and Goliath? Oh, actually, this changed my voice.
It works every time, boy. Yeah. Thanks, Zipper.
You sound like you're gasping out.
Thanks, Zipper. Love you, Zipper. But no, again, like I would have expected NIP Flash to be on the top of your list for you, but I feel like Singaporeans generally have been well pretty considerate or realistic in their approach.
Yep.
But to say that
BTK
even
realistic. First place.
I was about to get to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you finish. Mobazane has main character, arc. He never loses.
I don't know. It feels like it's a NAC
honestly, they inspired me to start casting. So honestly, that's why I supported BTK all the way since they were in M3.
I can appreciate that at the very least.
I can respect that.
Sentimental value tops everything else. But
I was actually really scared that they would change my voice again.
I was actually really. Oh my God!
We got him! 2 for 2, baby! 2 for 2! Get him when they least expect it.
Classic entertainment.
Are we?
Okay, there we go. Okay. So this is the perfect time for me to ask this question.
Yes.
Well, my voice is still very Team Monkey, you know. Okay, so we talked about Sakai's, right? We talked about Sakai's and we were thinking, okay, is Sakai's really, the important guy? We saw kind of like a downfall per se. So now, man of the match. Do you guys still think that Sakai's is, not that dominating?
You know what? I think I'm going to have to double down on this. Is an interesting topic. I think yes, he hasn't been at the top of his form for a while, but he does need support, and I think Cram is his crux. If Cram does well, Sakai's does well. But with that being said, let's have a look at the final bracket. The ultimate storyline here. Nobody expected Todak to get this far, especially when their opponents were MV looking to be the favorites, but they showed them otherwise. Beating MV and meeting off SRG in the upper bracket semifinals. The JP Niners had to face off against Red and were eliminated 3-0 as we saw Red show a different side of them on the flip of a coin. Then SRG did get knocked down to the lower brackets by Todak, followed up by Red Esports against Vamos, and that's where we saw Red meet their final bow. Then we go to the lower bracket finals, expecting to see something to change as Vamos beats Todak this time 3-1, sending Todak to the lower bracket finals, where we are here today to see SRG meet off against Vamos. Again, 2 opponents. They've done this before. They're going to do it all over again.
The path to the grand finals is definitely a lot more different than we envisioned. But at least when it comes down to the top 2, I believe that most of us believe that this is the grand finals match.
This is tomorrow's grand finals. Vamos up against Selangor Red Giants in a best of 7.
This better go for 7 games, man.
I mean, if it doesn't.
I mean, last time this roster met, again, most of the roster from Vamos met SRG last season. It went to 6 games.
Ooh.
And that itself was pretty explosive, but I expect them to push it further.
So we gotta shake hands with Mars.